get a little bit breathless. My thoughts are too big. Can I get some comfort, please? I guess I should have been honest. A break to my heart. It's weighing me down, baby. I'm like a river that's overflowed. The sooner you know it, the less do we hurt. Let me speak the truth. I know you don't want to face it. You think it's too late, but I can see past the rain. Won't you lay it on me? Turn the page and burn it. Let's make up a big bonfire on the beach with the stars as our lighters, and throw our problems in the flame. Throw our problems in the flame. We fell down to the bottom, so bottom up please. We're gonna get over this. I see the smoke in the mirrors. I'm holding the key, one step away from salvation. You're like the ocean, setting me free. Out in the open, I'm picking up speed. No bad thoughts penetrate. Hold me like this is the first time. Our destiny calls, not leaving this incomplete. Won't you lay it on me? Turn the page and burn it. Let's make up a big bonfire on the beach with the stars as our lighters, and throw our problems in the flame. Throw our problems in the flame. And throw our problems in the flames. Ooh, throw our problems in the flame. I get a little bit breathless. My thoughts are too big. Can I get some comfort, please?
And this is why I set up way before we go live so we don't run into these things. How about now? Can everybody hear me? No audio still, huh? Give me 1 second. Oh, why? All right, we're good. Sorry, guys, I was doing IT all day long, and I guess I just forgot how to do it at 7:30. So my apologies. Looks like we're fixed, though. You guys are coming in loud and clear. At least I'm coming in loud and clear. All right, let me start over. Hi, I'm Frozen with Outdoor Adventures. I've been missing you guys. How's everybody doing tonight? I got a nice Delirium Tremons. Or actually, this is a red. This is like an 8.6. So, all right, I'm glad we can hear me now. So that's good. I do apologize for the little technical difficulties, but so what I want to do this chat, and I haven't done one of these live streams in I feel like forever, right? I think the last live stream I did was right like a month or two before I hit the AT, which was, man, can you believe it's already been like a couple years since I stepped foot on the trail? I feel like I just did it yesterday. But that's what we're gonna do today. I would like to not only we're going to talk about backpacking, I'd like to hear from the class of 2022. What are your concerns with your hike? Let me know. I was able to talk to a friend when I started, and I just felt like just having him as a resource there was so valuable for me just to kind of get all the jitters out, if you will. So hopefully I hear from some new people. I did throw this stream out on a an Appalachian Trail class of 2022 Facebook page, which I do frequent a lot. I've been trying to help. I follow them every year. I follow the Facebook pages every year to try to just throw my opinions out into the group, and I always get some good feedback. People always recognize being there. But let's go to the chat. I think I've ran my mouth enough here. Everybody, I hope you all have a drink. Um, Now I'm doing a little different. There's a whole bunch of new OBS Studio. That's the broadcasting software that I'm using. So I'm doing everything a lot different than how I did it before. This stuff has really come a long way in the past 3 years. So I will be highlighting some comments in here. So let's kick off the questions here. Let's go with trekking through the years, and let's make sure that we're appearing on the screen. Okay, good. Hopefully y'all can see that. All right, did y'all get hitched yet? Yeah, we got hitched. Chrissy, my wife, we got hitched on February 23rd. She's gonna kill me if I get that wrong. It's 33rd, 22nd. No, 222. Yeah, 22nd. 23rd is whenever I stepped foot on the AT. So the day after that, a year later. So all right, guys. Let's see what else. And actually, a lot of people are wishing me congratulations. Thank you all. I was happy to tell you guys. Like I said, it's been a bumpy road, but I'm excited. We're gonna have my son in May, so looking forward to that. All right, how's married life? We've been doing great. What's funny is, so we had the wedding. We went on our honeymoon. The day after, maybe a week after, we got complete lockdown for COVID, right? And it's kind of been that way ever since. We always joke, me and my wife, and say we kind of kicked COVID off with our honeymoon. So sorry. All right, Eddie, how's the bidet? He just got one. I absolutely love the bidet. In fact, I loved the bidet, the Backwoods bidet. It's a portable bidet that like goes on top of your water bottle, right? And I use that for the backcountry because I hate taking a crap in the woods. It's like the worst thing ever. You got to dig the hole. You got to position yourself just right. You got to cover it up, and then you got to use toilet paper. It just makes a big old mess. The bidet I love so much. I actually got one for the master bathroom, and I use that every day. It's been working great. No toilet paper here, man. All right, let's see. Let's see. What's the best way to have or keep meat on the trail? I agree with Justin. Dehydrated meat, jerky, that kind of stuff, for sure. All right, Goobs. We're just going to run down these questions. In the description, it says you're using the Sony ZV-E10. How long have you had it, and do you like using it as a camera for your hikes? So I'm actually using that camera right now. It actually acts as a webcam at 720p, It's not the greatest webcam, but it does look pretty clear, I think, at least. As far as the ZV-E10, the Sony on hikes, I wouldn't recommend it. I honestly would not recommend it for the simple fact that the stabilization just isn't there. And that's really, I think, with all mirrorless cameras. Now, Sony does make a product called Catalyst Browse and Catalyst Prepare, which the point of those softwares is to take the data that the camera is receiving for the in-body, or excuse me, the active stabilization, and incorporate that into the metadata on your videos. And what's all that mean is basically as you run through the Catalyst Browser Prepare software. The Prepare is like the pro paid version. Allows you to do like batch editing, but it will stabilize your clip with a little bit of a crop factor. So it's been a real big pain to use that. I probably will continue to use it for the time being, but I do love the camera as like an everyday digital camera, broadcasting down here, creating videos, content creation, just not outdoors. I don't really like it for outdoors. All right, Paul Shalaski, and I'm sorry if I butcher anybody's name. What's next? PCT, tent or hammock? I'll be taking a tent on the Pacific Crest Trail, and I'm hoping at the end of May 2024. I've also talked to my buddy Murica. Some of you probably remember him, and he's also going to be joining me. That was one of the stipulations from my wife and his wife, saying we got to go together. We're like two peas in a pod. We work really well together. We know each other's strengths and weaknesses, and I think we just have a really good time hiking together. Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate the props for the DIY project. I'm just going to be scrolling down. We got a lot of comments in here, so give me some time to get back to you all. And if you have any comments about through hiking or backpacking or camping, or if you want me to talk about a specific topic, just throw that all in the chat. We'll go probably an hour or so, or however long you guys want. If we're really hopping in the chat, then we'll keep going. All right. How much of a baby face you were before the beard? Yeah, it got pretty crazy on the trail. Like I looked at pictures from me like maybe a week or two before Summit Day, and you can't see my face. It's just crazy. Ah, hello from Oregon, JT Outdoor Adventures. What's up, man? How you doing? Could go for a nice Belgian triple. Heck yeah, feller. Wander with Mike. All right. Yes, time does fly, Paul, for sure. All right. Would you like to do the AT again? I would. I would love to do the AT. I'm always dreaming about my experiences on the trail, and I think it's a very important thing to have in just everyday life, is to have something that you can be proud of and look back on and look at the memories. When times get tough, times have been very tough, recently with the pandemic and now inflation. It's just like we're never getting out of this rut that we're in. Now Russia's attacking everybody. It's just like, holy cow, what is happening with the world? One thing I do want to mention, please, guys, no politics. I will not get into politics. Believe me, you don't want to hear what I have to say. And I probably don't want to hear what you have to say as well as the other people in the chat. So this is all about hiking and backpacking. All right, so as far as the AT again, yes, I would absolutely do it again, but I'd want to do more trails first. Kim and Jeff want back on the PCT. I love that name. That's perfect. Do the same. They do the same for PCT Facebook groups, and thank you for doing that. That really, I do feel that really goes a long way. It definitely helped me when I started, when I have some off and on questions for the group in my 2019 group chat. All right, be honest. Knowing what you know now, if you were doing the AT again, hammock or tent? That is a tough one. That is a real tough one, Dearless. I think I'd want to try a tent, but man, I had some good times in the hammock. There was just places that I could hang where nobody else could go in their tents. And if you guys remember when Lucky went on ahead in New York. I forget where it was. I think it was right after the zoo. He went up to a shelter site. Me and Marika got out of the rain a little bit early, and we found the most gorgeous camping spot right next to a lake, and it was warming up overnight, and it was just such an awesome morning drinking coffee right next to that lake. You couldn't take that spot in a tent. It was just things like that that really draw me to the hammock for the AT. And it's really easy to hammock camp along the AT. There's trees everywhere. I think a lot of people get scared, and I was one of those people to get scared. The whites aren't a problem, Maine's not a problem. All these places you think are going to be a problem aren't really problems. All right, my husband is planning a hike for next year. How can I best support him? What support did you get from your girlfriend, family, etc. that really helped? What to avoid? Man, I don't know if I could have done it without my family, to be honest with you. They were super supportive. Um, they sent me a lot of resupply packages, especially early on when I was a little bit iffy on, kind of going into towns and stuff like that. I think the best way to support your fellow hiker is to just ask them what they need. You know what I mean? If you could run to the post office to get something else, maybe a piece of gear broke down and needs replaced, that just, instead of like, so you thinking you don't always go into town and see an outfitter, especially in the northern states. There's not a lot of outfitters, right? So you're constantly relying on the post office for any broken down gear. For instance, my trekking poles broke. Um, right after the whites, and there really wasn't anywhere to replace them until I got to Shaw's. That's a hiker hostel right before the 100-mile wilderness. But there's post offices along the way, and you can even send packages to hostels. You just put, in for care of this person and send it to the hostel. And most hostels will be glad to take packages, especially if the person's staying there overnight. So just be there for them on the phone if they're calling and they're having a really bad day. I know I did this with Chrissy a couple times. I don't know if I'm cut out to do this. It's been raining for 7 days straight. My feet are a mess, kind of thing. I think a lot of people just need to talk. If you could just jump on a video chat with them while they're in town or something, or just a call on the middle of a mountain in the middle of a rainy day. That's what the hikers for support. That's what they'll see for support. My brother-in-law is saying, "Oh man, divorced." I always get the wedding dates mixed up. I don't know why it's so hard for you to remember. I always remember the 23rd, but I can't always go back a date. It's like my brain is etched and engraved with 223, and really we need to be 222. So, wifey, I'm sorry. You can beat me up later. All right, Mike Schellenberger. What's your plans for the channel after the baby? So I talked about this briefly in the video that I just released last night. And you guys really liked that, so thank you very much for watching that. I had a blast that night. That was an awesome night. But plans for the channel, they're not changing. I still want to redo my beginner backpacking. It's videos like the whole playlist. It's getting a little dated, and I think I can make it a lot better, especially with the new audio and camera equipment that I have these days. My plan is to, take a few weeks off, maybe a month or two, focus on family, the baby, and then get right back to the channel. I'm not going to be going out as much as I was. Obviously, I'm going to have a newborn baby. Um, but Chrissy is all about, my wife is all about me going outside and, just taking that break away from life. I have a very stressful job in IT, and I think she gets that. She has a very stressful job. Um, but channel's not going away anytime soon. I want to keep this up as long as possible. I plan to one day be a triple crowner. I will say the CDT is not in my future until I retire for sure. But we're going to start with the PCT, and maybe trails like the Colorado Trail or the JMT or the Long Trail, finishing up the Long Trail, the Florida Trail, things like that. Those will be on the menu. Maybe even going back to Minnesota and doing the Superior Hiking Trail again. I love that trail. Congratulations on becoming a father. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Hey, Dallas. He's on his mom's account. No problem, man. Do you expect to be finishing all three through hikes? Yeah, I just talked about that. So yeah, hopefully, here's hoping. Willing, if I'm able. You know what I mean? Everybody's got God or nature or whatever you believe in has a plan for us all. I'd like to think, and hopefully I'll be lucky enough to be able to hike for all 3 of those long trails. If you guys could also let me know if I'm too loud, too soft, or just right when I get down to the comments, that'd be real helpful, guys. Thank you. All right. David Smith, class of 2022. So first of all, David, congratulations. I hope you have such a great time. I'm so excited for you. I'm sure you see my face lighting up. That's just so amazing. All right. My biggest concern is how to get to town for resupply. Mine too. That was one of my biggest fears. The shuttles have gotten so expensive and unreliable sometimes. Talk to you about hitching. All right, David. So hitching isn't that big a deal. You got to remember, especially early on. So first of all, I didn't even need to hitch until I got to, I believe, Virginia. I think my first hitch, I want to say, man, I can't even remember where I was, but I don't think yeah, because it was after Damascus. I think Virginia. The biggest thing you can do is, you have your backpack, you're walking on a road, people in these areas see through hikers all the time. You got to remember, people start, the bubble mainly starts in the March 1st, right? And then that goes all the way to December. They're always seeing people. They're used to seeing hikers with backpacks. And as long as you don't look scary and you put a smile on your face and you're just upbeat and you're energetic about it, you'll have no problem getting a hitch. I think the longest it took us to get a hitch was like 15, 20 minutes. You just start heading into town. You make yourself easily seen, accessible. What you can do is there's a few vendors out there. I think Hilltop Packs, Light AF. They have towels. They say on one side they say hiker to town, and then on the other side it says, or yeah, hiker to town. Hiker to town and hiker to trail, is what they say on either side. And I think those towels are really good because you can also use them as a chamois, right, to wipe down your tent or your hammock tarp. So they're multi-purpose. But I think people just are willing and nice enough to pick people up. Now, I'm not sure how it is with the pandemic. I think based on the State of the Union that I saw yesterday, I believe that they're kind of leaning more toward the pandemic being over. I don't really know what the whole plan is for that, but don't worry about hitching. You'll be absolutely fine. Remember, you can always download like Lyft or Uber if you really can't afford the shuttles. I don't know the prices on that, but don't worry about hitching. Hitching is very, very easy. It was one of the things I was deathly afraid of, and it turned out to be no big deal. Also, try to get a girl in your group. People seem to be more comfortable with that. We had a girl named Togs in our group, and she always used to get us hitches. In fact, there was one time that my friend, or Lucky, if you guys remember Lucky, Togs went one way, and me and Marika went the other. By the time we had turned around, they had already gotten their hitch. It's like literally 5 seconds. It was ridiculous. All right. Uh, how was Hocking Hills, Ohio? Busy. It was really busy. Me and Chrissy did a little retreat getaway away from the kids. I rented a cabin in the woods. Did most of the Hocking Hills trails, and man, it was beautiful, but it was way too busy for me. We also went on a weekend though, so that could be it. All right, Justin, I said PCT. Hopefully CDT whenever I retire, but PCT 2024. I'm a little sheepish about starting to use my Kulo Clean. That's the bidet, but I think it's a good idea. It's awesome. I don't know about the Kulo Clean, but unless you're talking about the Kulo, the butt. How hard is the SMNP? Is that the Shenandoahs? Is that what you're talking about? Tommy, let me know if I'm answering the wrong one. Shenandoahs are easy. Until if you're going north, at least maybe your last day and a half is a little bit rough because of the rocks. But Shenandoah's easy walking. All right, John Long. Since you're becoming a ground dweller, did you pick up an X-Mid Pro? That's a Dan Durston tent, and he has my eye. I would love an X-Mid Pro too, but I'm leaning more toward the X-Mid Pro for my PCT hike. It's just a matter of getting my hands on it to test. If anybody wants to send me one, I'll be real gentle with it, but I'd love to test that out. I have a Plexamid from Z-Packs right now, working out pretty good. A little high on the condensation side. Worst comes to worst, I just use that one though. Best trail beer. So, Paul, I don't know if you followed my hike, but I would get deliriums all the time from very, very nice subscribers. I even told people like, man, you don't have to get me deliriums. It's a very expensive beer. How about just like a Snickers bar or something like that? But people brought me deliriums. Like they were just laying on the side of the trail. It was crazy. That and cherry cokes. But yeah, the best trail beer was definitely my delirium tremens for sure. All right, we're going to address this. Brad doesn't like hearing about the bowel movements on the channel. He quit watching last week because you featured that. Well, I'm sorry, Brad. It's everybody does it. Everybody poops. I don't know what to tell you, man. If you don't like it, don't watch. Sorry. Who are you starting the PCT with? I said Murica. Hopefully. I have to scroll back up. Wow, there's a lot of comments. All right. Hi there, Frozen from North Carolina. What is up, Tony? Did you ever figure out what animal was in the cold camping video? People have told me that that was a fisher cat. I think that's what they said. My uncle, I believe, trapped Pennsylvania fishers. He's the one that passed away last year, the one that was paralyzed. I believe he trapped fishers. I don't know a lot about him, but it was a really weird sound. Hey, Spaguyver, what's going on, man? I haven't heard from you in a long time. Well, I watch your videos all the time, but I haven't heard from you directly in a long time. And so, cheers, buddy. All right, bear on the trail. What backpacking trips do you have planned in the upcoming year? Congrats on the baby. Thank you. Appreciate it. The one trip that seems to be just a never good time for me to do is the Pemi Loop. I've been eyeing the Pemi Loop since my boy Syntax over at Syntax 77's channel introduced me to that via one of his videos on his channel, and it just looks like a great time. And then me being in the Whites in 2019, just kind of experiencing that whole scenery, it just makes me really want to go back. So I think Pemi Loop, and I say this every year, I think Pemi Loop is happening this year. I'm hoping sometime right before the fall, right as it starts getting a little bit colder in the Whites. And I'll bring a hammock on that one. Trekking through the years, IT professionals. Hopefully you passed your Log4j servers. All right. Love your beginning backpacking series. Do you have any recommendation for a decent synthetic fill sleeping bag? Can't use down, allergic. I don't. Mountain Hardware was the bags that I used to use. The Lamina series was pretty good. It doesn't compress down as much as down, but it was synthetic. Froze like I have a family, but make room for my gear. Any PA hikes this year? I'm running out of PA hikes. I don't know. Maybe some of you can recommend it. I think there's one more. Well, there's a couple more. One more that I could probably do myself without having to park end to end, and I can't for the life of me think what the heck that is. It's near Old Loggers Path, Black Forest Trail. It's near all those other trails. Married life is good, David. Thank you for asking. So CDT 2028, yeah. I'm not going to be doing any through hikes, at least to my knowledge. I guess it could happen, but I'm going to be holding off on the through hikes after my PCT adventure. I'd really like to give the CDT time to take some of the road walking out of that hike. I'm really hoping. I mean, basically, Ivy Tat, Darwin, he's still releasing the videos. I mean, there's just a lot of road walking on the CDT. I'm hoping one day they get the trail more in the woods, more in the outdoors, um, the wilderness, I should say, and kind of leave the road walking a little bit less. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Adventure Outdoors. How are you liking the Light AF Ultra 200? Do I have that anywhere? Let's see. Is this it? Yeah, here it is. I'm gonna drop my thing down, but I knew that was gonna happen. Anyway, this is the pack that he's talking about. It's made of an Ultra 200 material. It's supposed to be a lot stronger than Dyneema, and it's a little bit cheaper. So No problems with this. The only thing that maybe I need to check on was I need to figure out how the water got into that pack. I can't judge based on the video because so what happened was I was in the Smokies hiking with Marika and RD, and there was a lot of water when I got to the third camp. It was raining the entire time. Right, the first day we had a little bit of rain, and then the second day it was all rain. Um, on the way to camp it was all rain. I think I had my pack open putting my camera gear away, and I think there was just water just pouring in from just the rain falling off the trees and everything, and I had a decent bit of water at the bottom of that. It's something I'm really checking. I'm really going to try to take this pack anytime it's raining. I really like this pack over here. This is the little guy, the multi-day pack, that's my favorite pack right now, but it's only a 20 liter. But I'm gonna be checking that Ultra 200 in the wet, in the rain. All right, would you choose the same big three were you to do the AT again? I would probably not take the Z-Packs. What do I have? The Arc Haul, the Z-Packs Arc Haul, or I would make sure to get a brand new hip belt right off the bat. That pack had about, I don't know, 500 miles on it when I started, and the hip belt was not comfortable by mile 1,000 on the AT. So I'm just that's probably one of the things I would swap out. But I'd keep the hammock for sure, and the quilts and everything. All right. Do through hikers feel like once it's done, or is it common to repeat them maybe in the opposite direction? You mean hiking the actual trail? I think those that actually enjoy through hiking like I did immediately start wondering when your next through hike is. Um, there's something about that lifestyle that kind of really grows on you. You love the freedom and you start to crave it. It over time, it feels like that's your job. It feels like the reality that you left at home is how we like long for the hiking trips. That's so weird for me to say that, but like you're out in like Vermont, right? By the time you go Nobo to Vermont, you're like, I really like doing this. This is absolutely amazing, and I only have a couple more states left, and it's gonna end, and then what the hell am I gonna do? And it's just like you don't want to leave all that freedom. It sounds so selfish for me to say it. It really does, but I think a lot of thru hikers that enjoy the trail try to find more long trails. Hey Walter, what's going on, man? Favorite hike non-AT? I'll go back to Laurel Highlands. That was the first long hike I ever did in South Central PA. That's a 70-mile end-to-end through hike. I love it. Real easy too. All right, what tent are you thinking about using on the PCT? Like I said, the X-Mid from Dan Durston, or I might just take the Plex Mid. I already have it. There's no signs of wearing and tearing or anything with it. All right, planning a hike and not sure when I should start. Right now, I want to start in warmer weather, but is the bubble that bad? So bubbles like March to April 1st, right? March 1st to April 1st. That's your big bubble. And then you have the Sobo bubble too. I'm not sure when they start. Maybe April? No, end of April, May, somewhere around there. Um, the bubble, I don't know. I was well past the bubble because I started in February, at the end of February. Um, but you really need to have your cold weather and rain gear figured out, which my rain gear was not figured out at all. There were some nights where I went to bed soaking wet and woke up in the morning and they were just blocks of ice. So you really need to figure out your cold weather. Like you need to have confidence in your cold weather gear and rain gear, and I just didn't with my rain gear. But why don't I mean if you start in mid-April, you finish around October, and that's you won't see the bubble. Can y'all see that on the screen? This is that's a good question. Okay. Uh, Frozen, if faced with a life-threatening situation, would you rather share an altiplex with Dixie, Nimble Will, Nomad, or IB Tat? Man, I'm not sure. I mean, I guess Dixie would be the obvious choice, right? I'm not sure who Nimblewood Nomad is. Maybe I'll check them out, though. We'll go with Dixie. IB Tat. Love him to death, but I don't know. Life-threatening, I'd rather be with Dixie, I guess. Uh, you take that hiking chair from your last video on the PCT? Heck yeah, John. I'll take that. I think it's 8 pounds. I'll take that on the trail with me. Why not? I had a Penguins like fold-out chair that you would use for like concerts. I just brought that up with me because it was easy. All right, thoughts on toe socks for blister prevention. Let's see. I got like a callus. I got a callus and a blister under the callus. But other than that, and that was like at the start of the trail too. I personally didn't use toe socks, but a lot of my family members swore by Injinji toe socks for blister prevention. They're just really delicate though, so you do have to make sure you keep getting them and you keep them maintained. But they didn't get blisters. I think if you honestly, right before you go out on the trail, don't wear socks, don't wear shoes, go outside, walk around your yard, take a walk around your neighborhood, and if it's warm enough, and just beat the crap out of your feet, and you shouldn't have any blisters. Maybe that's just me, but that's what I did. All right, class of 2022, Lori, congratulations. All right, March 14th. Oh, you got like a couple weeks here. That's awesome. All right, do you have 3 favorite tips for the best hike ever? All right. So, tip number 1. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. As soon as you accept how uncomfortable you are out there, you will have the greatest time ever and you will stop complaining. All right, tip number 2. Say yes to everything. No matter what it is, if somebody wants to go on a 3-mile hitch just to get ice cream, go for it. Those are the times that you're going to remember on the AT forever. My last tip, fear Maine with a passion. And don't be scared of it, just fear it. Maine is one of the hardest states I ever did. I was not expecting it. I thought, once we get out of the whites, it'll be clean and clear. But no. Whites is like the bigger, older, stronger, meaner brother than the New Hampshire. So if you go into, or if you come out of the whites and you are injured, do not proceed into Maine because there's not a lot of places to get off trail. I'm not trying to scare you. The terrain is very rocky, very rough, very technical. It's scrambling at some points. It's almost like bouldering sometimes. So just keep that in mind. Maine is so beautiful, though. You're going to love it. And just have a good time on the AT. Enjoy. Hopefully that helped. Best PA beginnerist trail. Check out Old Loggers Path. It was one of my favorite trails, and it was super, super easy. I did it in overnight, but if you take 3 days to do it, it's a real, real nice trail. All right, I watched every AT hike video you posted as soon as you uploaded. It was better than any. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, my mom is saying, hey, 222:20. Sorry, I'm never going to hear the end of that. I'm sure Chrissy's upstairs like, dude. Thanks, John. Appreciate it. I'm doing the Superior Hiking Trail this year. Awesome. XP or Sonia, make sure you go into Grand Marais it's called My Sister's Place. It's a restaurant, and get a Juicy Lucy. They have the best burgers I've ever had, and they fill the burger with cheese. It's great. All right, how do you manage time off? So when I did the AT, I actually quit my job. I was in the middle of a big career move. I was tired of the job. I wanted out. And they had even promised that I could come back and re-interview with them, which never ended up happening. But I quit outright. I quit my job. I got travel insurance for the AT, and I came back and I got a way better job, making way more money than what I was. So don't really manage time off. It's one of those things you got to quit, if you want to thru hike. All right. Just right audio. Thank you. Thank you. I probably got to that a little late, but I'm glad that worked out. Small hikes in PA. Yeah. could do some more small hikes in PA. I want to go back to the Perry Valley in West Virginia because that was another amazing hike, and I might take my stepson Tucker because I think he would honestly enjoy an overnight in that area. Any tips for a future AT through hiker? Suggestions for planning a trip that long? So, Daniel, I honestly didn't really plan much of that trip. All right. I planned maybe the first 2 weeks, and then there's not much planning you can do. And even those 2 weeks, the plans got thrown out the window by day three. So really, just make yourself familiar with the trail. Watch videos, read books, watch documentaries, watch mine, Journey of the Soul, um, and just be really familiar with what you're about to get into. Talk to other hikers like you're doing now. Um, but other than that, just set a date and stick to it. That's the biggest tip that I can give you. Thank you, Cindy, for the, what is it called? A super chat, I believe. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. David Smith, I may be screwed because I can't look scary. Yep. We had the same problem once our beards grew out, but yeah, just smile. Got to have that smile on your face. Justin, we do hear from Togs. We're still in a it's a Gmail or a Google chat, I guess it is. It's called the Super 8 for because we always used to go to the hotels there. And we keep in constant contact with everybody. So we're always talking. I'd say we talk probably 2 to 3 times a week. You know what I mean? And sometimes there's days where we just go back and forth. So Togs and Lucky are doing great. Eddie's doing really good. So we're all happy. What's up, Bob? How you doing, man? All right, love your insight. Going to Hocking Hills. Oh, Smoky Mountain National Park. My bad, Tommy. Smokies were rough, I'll be honest. But it was the time that I went through. Um, it was super cold, super wet. The trail was walking through an entire puddle the entire time. There was some ice for sure, all over the place. And I didn't need micro spikes, but I almost needed micro spikes. You know what I mean? Um, the day before Klingman's Dome, I had to have a serious heart to heart with myself because I was like, I am so tired. I'm not sure I can push anymore. I just quit my job. I got 55,000 subscribers watching these videos, and I feel like I'm going to fail. And I'm like, wait a minute. Wait. You quit your job. There's 55,000 people watching you. You're not quitting. You're going to go to Katahdin. End of story. Quit your belly aching. And it was rough. It was really rough for me. But another reason why that park or that area was so bad, for me at least, was because I was used to sleeping in a hammock and I did not have a comfortable sleeping pad to go to ground because in the Smokies you're required, if there's room, to stay in the shelters along the way. So I was sleeping on the ground, no sleep, super tired, extra weight with my hammock, and a sleeping pad. But other than that, the Smokies are beautiful. I didn't see half of them because we had bad weather, um, but I'm sure you'll do just fine. All right, just scroll back up. It's one of the things that drives me nuts about YouTube chat is it doesn't load comments and you kind of just go spiraling back. All right. Yes, MacGyver, thank you. Hitching is still illegal to my knowledge in New York State. Um, Fortunately, they don't really care that much. We were able to get in and out with hitches fairly easy. Sometimes we just called a Lyft or an Uber. They were really expensive. Hotels are ridiculously expensive. If you can avoid the entire state of New York, I would suggest it be just because it's a vortex. The hotels are crappy, and you're spending like $100 a night. It really sucks. Helps if you split it, for sure. We had 4 people in our group at the time, so it was helpful to split. But yeah, didn't have fun in the hotels in Smokies, except the Tuxedo Motel, which was amazing. And that's within walking distance on the trail. All right. X-Mid. Lots of X-Mid talk. I'm happy to hear that. Yeah, it seems to be a really good tent. The Buckeye Trail. I probably wouldn't do the Buckeye Trail. I don't have a lot of memorable experiences hiking around Ohio. That's the trail that goes on the outside edge of Ohio, I believe. Um, Yeah, I don't know. That'd probably be rolled down low on the totem pole there. We blew up one bottle hydration. It's a good product. I'm glad he sent me those. I just sent the bottle out. I'm still trying to get a hold of the people with the Nalgene's, but I just sent John his bottle, so we'll see how he likes it. Hey Frozen, what's the most scary situation that you've been into on the AT? Yeah, okay, so it was was it 2? Might have been day 2. I was at, uh, I'll tell you 2. I'll give you a bonus. I'll tell you, day 2, I was at Woody Gap, um, right before Neal's Gap, I believe, and the wind was really kicking up. We were getting a bad storm, and it's windy on the AT because you're walking along the ridge, keep in mind. I was afraid of widowmakers at that point. I stayed way off trail, probably 100, 200 feet off trail. Couldn't find a spot that I felt contained in. I found some pine trees, headed down there. There was a whole bunch of widowmakers. Scariest night I've ever went to, um, until the White Mountains happened. We were just going down, I want to say Madison, Garfield, Madison maybe. Can't remember. Anyway, we were at one of the pre-established shelter areas, right? And again, the wind had come in. It was pouring rain. I was on these two teeny weeny trees, like just enough for you to hammock camp, but every time the wind blew, it like rode your hammock, it rocked the hammock back and forth. I didn't sleep at all. I maybe slept maybe 10, 15 minutes that entire night. And then I'm in the whites, and we have, a 17, 18-mile day going down to the Washington cutoff, and that was terrifying. It was absolutely terrifying. The rain and the wind were going up and right into the hammock, under the tarp. It was nuts. So I've never felt so small in the hammock before. Like it was like really really scary. I think that episode's is White's Walker. If you want to check that out, it's the second day of that, I believe. It's somewhere in there. It's within those 2 videos. All right, any plans for future family backpacking trips on the channel? The channel's kind of my thing. So you might see a kid now and then. You might see my wife at some point. But for the most part, it's just going to be me and my friends. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think people don't go outside enough. I think that's really where depression kind of takes hold. I know in the winter I got to keep myself busy because I always kind of drift back into a weird depression. I think everybody does. It's just called the winter blues. You know what I mean? But I think with enough sunlight, enough memorable experiences, you can keep that depression at bay. And I'm so glad I kicked the habit because I denied it for so 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 long, and the AT really kind of jump started and kicked it out of me. We had to work out a lot of things up in that brain of mine to be happy and to stop trying to get everybody to feel sorry for me. Like, just you can fix it yourself. You don't need everybody to feel sorry for you. You don't need to be depressed. Fix it. You know what I mean? At least that was me. Yeah, man, definitely. How much does a through hike cost? You can figure about $1,000 a month, and that is including any kind of gear break fixes, any kind of hotel or hostel stays, food resupplies, hitches, shuttles, anything like that you're going to need on trail. I think I spent a little bit less than that, but I should have. This next through hike on the PCT, I plan on keeping detailed records of what I spent. I had enough saved up for 6 months, and I was back in 4 months, so I didn't go anywhere near my budget. Oh, the Morrison Loop with the guys. Yeah, that was a good hike. That was fun. Adirondacks, I will visit. I promise. I will visit the 80Ks for sure. All right, live near Tahoe. Love my hammock. I want a nicer, lighter one. Well, so I'm a big fan of Dream Hammock. I know a lot of people are like big Dutchware fans, but man, for me, Dream Hammock is just where it's at. I love my new Monolight one. It's 1 ounce per square yard. It's an amazing hammock. But it's not for everyone. It has a low weight capacity. I think 100 and 200 pounds, 180 pounds, something like that, 160. Which I don't come near there at 140. So depending on how heavy you are, really dictates what kind of hammock. But I personally love Dream Hammock. Do you know if you could fish while through hiking? I don't see why not. There's not really too many places to fish. Like you can't like fish every day and like cook it up on a fire. I don't think, at least. That's very true, Mike. Check out Dixie's videos. She has a down allergy as well. Homemade Wanderlust. I'm sure you've heard of them. Lots of good suggestions. Read the chat for sure. All right, me and Simtax would do a trip together. I would love that to happen. I'm sure he's a busy man though, as am I. But if anybody knows him, all for it. All right, hiking the Foothills Trail last week of March with two buddies. Enjoyed your video on it. Any advice, do's and don'ts? Yeah, go the opposite way that we went because we did it. We did it really ridiculously. Like we did all the elevation gain the first day, and we had a long first day. Driving, waking up early, driving to the trailhead, parking two cars, go the other way. Um, it's such a beautiful trail. If you want a real taste of what the Appalachian Trail could possibly look like, try hiking the Foothills Trail in North and South Carolina. All right, Justin Sparks. I love your name, Justin Sparks. All right, have you ever considered doing a Florida Trail through hike? Yeah, but I can't get past the alligators, man. I don't know. Maybe one day. Not on top priority for me though. I don't have any plans to do the North Country Trail, Mike. Maybe sections of it at some point. I would like that for sure. That's like on the bucket list with all the other shorter trails that I mentioned, JMT, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, there's a lot of trails way before that, and I'm sure the NCT is beautiful. Hey, what's up, Dwayne? Thanks for coming in here. Yeah. Oh man, that was a pain in the butt to pack that one out. Yeah, I do need to come back down to Georgia. Georgia is one of them states that I need to explore a lot more because it is so beautiful. I definitely need to fly down there though because it's way too long to drive for me. Um, so I got a couple different hangers. I got these little S hooks, right? I just have little S hooks on there, right? You can get them on Amazon, S hooks. But my gear or my clothing, that's all normal, just normal hangers from my closet upstairs, for sure. Yeah, CG. I'm looking forward to the Pemi for sure. John, I've been trying to attend trail days for the past 2 years. Not this year for sure. Last year was a big opportunity, but I had family obligations, so I wasn't able to attend. Um, it's on my bucket list to do soon as possible. I would love to go down to Virginia, just check out Damascus when all the people are down there. I didn't have really a great experience in Damascus when I was through there because everything was still closed, but I feel like it opens up with the bubble, perhaps, possibly. And I would love to just come down and say hi and just see with all the through hikers and just have fun in the festivities. The Pinchot Trail. Um, I've heard this mentioned to me before. Let me write that one down. I will look into that one. If that's the trail that I possibly didn't remember in PA, it's very possible, but I will check that out. All right. Loved watching your videos when you did your through hike. Thank you. Do you know anyone to follow in the class of 2022? All right. So I'm only watching one person right now. I would recommend Mischief on the trail. He is a double amputee. He had, and I don't know his full story, but he's a pretty good dude to watch. Um, and if you guys have any others, throw them down in the chat, please. I'm sure everybody would, especially me, I would appreciate that as well. But Mischief lost his feet to frostbite, I believe, and he still is through hiking the AT. I think he's 8 or 9 days in now at this point. I'm sure his videos are delayed, but he's been pretty fun to watch. What's up, Braids? How you doing? Thanks for checking in. Appreciate it. Watch out for the snowflakes. All right. Let's see. Was that me or was that Gary? I can't remember. I vaguely remember this, but that was a good time with everybody. Me, Spaguyver, Shorts, and Meerkat. All my buddies, we did the AT, no, the AT, the Laurel Highlands Trail a few years ago, and we just had a blast with it. It was funny. Okay, so been watching a lot of your older hikes recently. Was wondering how you and Shorts met. Shorts is my buddy Gary. He hiked the AT in 2018, and I don't know how he did it because it was snowing 50% of the time. He got up in like Pennsylvania, it was still snowing. It was ridiculous. But we met through a mutual friend who was a coworker at the time, and uh, the coworker got us both into backpacking. He doesn't do a lot of backpacking, but me and Gary stayed real close, and we love backpacking each other. So that's how we met. And just so you guys know, I'm just highlighting the questions here. I'm reading all the comments, so thank you. If I'm like quiet for a while, I'm just reading comments, so I apologize. Jay Wanders is a great channel right now. All right, I'll check that out. I'm guessing Jay Wanders is on 2022 through hiking. Donut Trail, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, the Donut Trail in PA. That's possibly on the list here. Thank you for that. That was driving me nuts. Riley, I see you coming up in the chat. Just post your questions just like you did. Go for it. I'll get to them as soon as possible. When you guys see the little questions at the bottom, I'm just clicking back and forth between the chats. That's all I'm doing. All right, let's see. Is the Smokies a good area to section hike the AT? I would not recommend the Smokies to section hike. You can, but it's going to be quite busy. It's very popular. I would actually recommend, it's also popular, Shenandoah's, um, Virginia, starting after the roller coaster. And then around the lake, I can't remember the lake. It's before you hit the Virginia state line. 3 days before that is perfect hike. Hike into Damascus. You'll have a great time. Hopefully that helped you. No, I don't. I guess I should. So I will write down Nimble. Maybe I do. I don't know. I follow a lot of people and I haven't been able to catch up with them on YouTube. So all right, have you done the Foothills Trail and how would you rate it to comparison? Okay, we talked about that, but yeah, it's just like the AT. I thought pretty much the same terrain. Were you planning to do the Te Aurora in New Zealand, but got hit by COVID? Still planning it. So yeah, me and literally the entire tramley, the AT tramley, when we got back, we discussed this because they all came up from my wedding, and we had breakfast in the morning after the wedding, and yeah, we were all ready to do the Te Aurora. I think we were going to start in October or November, and then COVID hit, and the minimum quarantine was 2 weeks. Well, we only had 2 weeks to do. We were going to do the Northern Island. So yeah, that's out the window. I would love to do that at some point, but it's not going to be anytime soon. All right, pro opinion on rain gear. All right, we need to get the pro here. Somebody else talk. I'm definitely not a pro, especially when it comes to rain gear. Jacket or poncho? I have both Frogs Tog jacket and a poncho, but I haven't tested the poncho. I'm not big on the ponchos, man, because especially on the AT, or excuse me, Riley. Riley, the AT has a lot of wind and rainy wind, windy rain, however you want to say it. And I can't see that poncho being useful at all. I could be wrong. I'm not sure. But I would recommend a really good rain jacket. If anybody has advice, I have an Enlightened Equipment Visp now. Not sure I love it. I love the hood on my Outdoor Research Helium 2, which I absolutely don't recommend anymore. It failed me way too many times. So, and braids is exactly right. Through hiking, uncomfortable 24/7. It's pretty much it. But you grow to love that. You grow to love being with that freedom and that uncomfortable level. Baker Trail, no, no plans, but I'll check that one out too. Did not expect a proposal of the at the end of the AT. I'm a 40-year-old. Man, I could not stop crying. Oh, that's awesome, Dingus. Dingus dog, bro. Or Dingus dog. Don't think I ever caught the feels like that. Yeah, it was definitely emotional for a lot of people, including me. Yeah. Yeah, so Ryan, traveler's insurance. So I didn't have health insurance, right? Because I didn't have a job when I did the AT. TravelX is the travel insurance I went through. And I checked, and even though I went through my home state of Pennsylvania, I was still far enough away from my home residence that travel insurance would pick up any kind of major hospital bill. So, like, dental insurance was covered up to a certain amount. I think I had to like pay $300 for a visit, but after that, it was covered. Same with hospital stays, it was like $300. But if I ran into some like detrimental thing where I like broke my leg or I needed surgery, that would be picked up by traveler's insurance. And I recommend TravelX because I think it was only like $25 a month. And I talked to them on the phone when I bought the insurance because I wasn't sure like this was legit. I mean, that's literally really cheap, right? And I just didn't know how that was protecting me. I told them exactly what I was doing. I told them how long I was going to be gone and what insurance or what I could possibly have happen to me. And they said yes, we will cover you. So got that in writing, and traveler's insurance. I canceled when I got home when I got a new job. Hey, what's up, man? We need to get together for another hike, man. Soon. All right. I hit the trail in 3 days, Mike Moore, and I'm very anxious. Trying not to worry too much, but I've put so much into it. Your videos inspired me, though, and I'm going to try my best. Man, you gotta breathe, man. You gotta relax, and just get excited. Don't get stressed out. Just be excited. You're gonna be like thinking like, what the heck did I step into on like day 2 or 3? But after that, you're gonna realize it's just another hiking trip, right? You go into town, you backpack for a little bit, you go into towns, recharge, you backpack for a little bit more, and you just keep doing that over and over again until you're at Katahdin. That's how you do it. Any international hikes you would like to do? My dad has an interest in not only the Grand Canyon. It's not international, obviously, but the what's the one that Dixie just did a few years ago through I can't remember what the heck it was. The Camino, the Camino de Santiago. Possibly. I heard that there's a lot of the hostel stays in there, so I'm not sure I want to do that with the snorers, but yeah, we'll see. I mean, if he asks me, I'll definitely go. All right, it is 8:30. I'm gonna keep it going because we have a crap ton of questions. So I'll keep going as long as as long as you guys want to go. Maybe we'll go for another. Let's shoot for another 30 minutes. Let me take a drink here though. How about this? By the time I'm done with my beer, that's when we'll end the chat. Does that sound good to everybody? Give me a thumbs up. And I appreciate you guys all coming out for this. I love just interacting with the community here. All right. Where in the world am I? Okay, here we go. Hammock Gear Wonderlux. Should I ditch the daisy chain and go for the beetle buckle style? Do you use drip lines? First of all, yes, use drip lines. There's water can bypass the buckles if you're using cinch buckles. I've had it happen to me, which is why they're on my hammock now. But it has to rain really hard for that to happen, just so you know. So throw the drip lines on for the 0.1 grams that those things weigh. Just do it. I would drop the daisy chains, and not only is I don't know why. So I think Eagles Nest Outfitters started this goofy thing with the daisy chains, and I really wish people would stop using them for hammocks because it makes adjusting your hammock just right so incredibly annoying. Like you think that, oh, I can just loop it here or loop it here or loop it here, or just get a cinch buckle that you can slide like a belt, like a fabric belt, and you have infinite adjustment. It's less heavy, it's easier adjustable. Um, it doesn't get as wet, right? It just the daisy chain systems don't make any freaking sense to me. Maybe I don't know what I'm doing, but cinch buckles all the way. I don't even like whoopee slings. Cinch buckles are just so easy. All right. When is the tramily getting back together? Well, so part of the tramily is south. I'm north, and then Lucky and Togs are way over in Australia. So it'll probably be a while. I'm hoping to have some kind of reunion at some point. I think that would be nice. I mean, even if we just go hang out at someone's house for the next wedding or next get together, whatever. I'm hoping we can have a little reunion. I love that everybody came up for my wedding. Like everybody was here. It was so awesome to have them there and partake. All right. All right. Outdoor adventure. Okay, how many days of food would you suggest for the smoky section? So I carried 4. I would suggest 5 or 6. We started running out of food toward the end just because we were so hungry. I would definitely carry some extra food through there. Through hikes are definitely long. What's going on, Ben? Thank you for commenting. I see you all the time, buddy. How am I getting the comments to pop up on the screen? It's a Chrome extension called. Now you're gonna make me check braids. How about well, no, just in case people want to know, it's called Live Chat Overlay, and it's a Chrome extension. And then what I do is I run it through OBS Studio as a window. Like you can set your source with your window, and then I filter out the black, so it appears as if it's. Just look up exactly what you said in YouTube, and you'll find the video that I used this morning. So give it a try. Anyway, I got to bring my chat back up. All right. Just watch Frozen videos and order pizza. All right. Thank you, AD, for this super chat. Any desire to do the North Country Trail? We did check that. I did talk about that. I don't know where I said check from. I must be getting tired. Yeah, I don't know. Sections would be nice for sure. Well, that's interesting to know. So the Buckeye has a lot of road walking. Yeah, just not feeling it, man. All right, like I said, if I get quiet, it means I'm just going through comments and finding questions. I'm reading everything, so thank you so much for your comments. I'm excited for your PCT trip, plus the chance to listen to Murica sing again. Yeah. The only thing I'm not excited about Murica is walking behind him. He has a very Pumbaa-esque scent to him. All right. When I first did the AT, there was no internet, only books, and word of mouth. You lazy kids are all worried. What happens if I bump my toe? Just go, walk, play Arthur or Rainbow, Brightside. Just have fun. Exactly. Just have fun. No need to worry. I was worrying my little self sick a few weeks before the trail, and honestly, there's nothing to worry about. You're going to have a blast. As long as you like hiking, as long as you like backpacking, you're going to love through hiking. And if you don't, come off trail. You don't have to stay. What I would ask is, man, don't yellow blaze. Don't yellow blaze up. I don't know why people do that. There's so much of it going on out there. Like, if you have one chance in a lifetime to hike the AT, right? I would not walk the roads. I would not hitchhike or skip any sections whatsoever. And that's what my entire group did. We saw pretty much every white blaze. Sometimes there was like the trail goes like this up, and then there's a side shelter thing. Sometimes we went like this to the shelter and then up. But most of the time, our goofy butts walked all the way back and then went up again. Like we were ridiculous. And that's just the way we preferred. You know what I mean? Hike your own hike, whatever you want to do. But I wouldn't skip it, man. All right, logistics are are easy as Uber or Grab. Okay. No, 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 no. Do you think your job in IT, yeah, I'm in IT, translates well to troubleshooting on trail? That's an interesting question. Possibly. I'm a very technical person by nature. But if you ask me to like cook anything or follow a recipe, I can't do that. So you can ask my wife when she gets those HelloFresh meals. She's like, "Hey, can you start this meal and I'll be home in like 30 minutes?" I'll have like one serving made and like I'll put the wrong ingredients in. I'm just a mess. But um, possibly, Ben. Possibly. All right. Northwest Pacific Trail. No, haven't thought of that one at all. I'm sure it's on my list of stuff to do though. Oh, you guys are hilarious. All right. Any tips for the Virginia Triple Crown, Aaron? Yeah, I do actually. Make sure you have water. If you're going up to the North Mountain Trail, I believe, for the loop of that, um, make sure you got enough water. There's water going up the North Mountain Hill by Tinker Cliffs, and there's water at the bottom by Dragon's Tooth's Trailhead. But other than that, there's no water in between that stretch. So you either need to fill up camp right before you get it or head over to Dragon's Tooth. I'm assuming that's what you're doing. Let me know if you need anything else. Watch my video. I have a video on that. I've got tons of tips in there, though. What about nutrition on the trail? Okay, this is a good topic. All right, so I was taking multivitamins. I'm not sure if they helped, but what I will say is at some point during the AT, I feel like I developed an iron deficiency. Um, and that deficiency continued for years later until quite recently. And my family is probably like, oh my God, he's going to talk about this again. I've been kind of blowing their ears off with this iron thing because I didn't have any energy at all. I thought it was normal. I thought I was just getting old or not sleeping right. But I would highly suggest making sure your iron levels are solid while you're on the trail. Eat a ton of greens, eat a ton of red meat. Do what you can. Take iron pill supplements that I'm currently taking. The iron deficiency will basically hit you out of the blue. You're all of a sudden be like, wow, why am I so tired like an hour after coffee? Like you think that maybe you're just not sleeping right but it was like a real big thing for me. And I think I hiked probably 70 to maybe even 80% of the trail with an iron deficiency, anemia, or whatever the heck it is. I got to go back and get tested again. But since I started taking iron pills, I have been bouncing off the walls. I have so much energy. I'm sleeping better now. Like it's ridiculous. So keep your iron up. It is a thing. I can definitely vouch for it. It's absolutely crazy. Make sure you're eating a lot of leafy greens. Like you can't just go have like romaine lettuce or something. You got to have like spinach and stuff when you're in town. Hopefully that helps. Hillman State Park. Why does that name sound familiar? Um, I'm gonna go ahead and skip that comment. I can't remember where Hillman is. Let me know. Why does that sound so familiar? All right. Enjoyed seeing Wild on the trails AT. Thought y'all were buddies. He hinted at another through hike post AT. Have heard from him. To be honest, I haven't heard from him, and I hope he's doing okay. I know that when he got off trail, he longed for the through hiking lifestyle. I don't know if it was a post trail depression, but unfortunately, I never got his phone number. I only contacted him via email or Hangouts, like Google Chat. And now I think he just kind of ignores the chat. Not on purpose. I just don't think he knows that I'm messaging him. So yeah, I should have grabbed his phone number. Uh, Good time to do the Virginia Triple Crown. I wouldn't do it during the bubble, so stay away from it. Probably April. April into May, but any other time should be fine. All right. If you make it to trail days, look us up at Southern Ohio Trail Magic set up. Oh, that's awesome. Cool. I will do. All right, Mischief. Heck yeah, he's great. I did a very, very short couple mile section of the Sheltowee Trace in the. That's the one in Kentucky, right? Red River Gorge. I want to say that, but just that small section. All right, let's see. To watch through hiking 18 started first day of winter. River to River Trail. Man, the only thing I don't like about Illinois is the amount of tolls that are through that state, man. Holy cow. When we drove through there on the way to the Spear Hiking Trail in Minnesota, and man, I think we paid like $40 in tolls. We were on there for like an hour and a half, 2 hours or something like. I don't know. I don't know what it was, to be honest. All right, it's got some good recommendations for the AT this year. Check them out. All right, Donut Hole Trail. All right, we're gonna add that to the list. Maybe I can get that done this year. I haven't done any research. I don't think. Um, is that an end to end or is that a loop? Because it's gonna be hard for me to do end to ends and coordinate. Like if I have a chance to get away from the family for a little bit, I doubt I'm gonna be able to kind of convince somebody to go with me at that point, short notice. But we'll see. What are your gas station resupply favorites? They always have like candy bars, Snickers, Sour Patch Kids. That's what I liked. Um, I only had to resupply at a gas station once, and that was just to refuel snacks. So I can't really tell you. We planned it out pretty perfect. We had center resupply in the places that you need to get around the gas stations. All right. Do you have plans? Do you have any advice for a future international thru hiker, PCT, and maybe the AT? Concerned about the different climates and many other things we're not even used to over here in the UK. Man, I don't even know. I wish Togs were here because she could tell you for sure. Sorry, man. I don't think I can answer that. Let anybody else see if you can help. Uh, Rich is Rich 9 out. My chat just jumped again. Hold on, guys. All right, there we go. Yeah, I do think there was a government shutdown when we went through the Smokies, but there were still rangers there, so I don't know. All right, did you enjoy the kilt you had for the AT for rain gear? At the time, no, but I will say I do still have it and I do still use it. Um, it doesn't work very well with the helium 2 because the helium 2 needs to be, and that's by outdoor research, it needs to be a little longer for that kilt to work. What I found was that my jacket would ride up and then it would, like, the water would just drip off my backpack and just right into my pants, and that would just, it would make the rain skirt absolutely useless. You really need some coverage of a rain jacket over top of your kilt. And I even tried pulling it up higher, and the bottoms of my pants would get soaked. So I think a kilt is a great idea, but I have yet to see it work as intended. I'm still testing it with my new jacket. All right, the Ochita. Who gave you your trail name? Let's see. What was her name in high school? It's actually not a trail name. If you guys want to look it up, I have a video where I explain this. Just look up. I think you can just look up Frozen on the channel. Click the magnifying glass on the channel videos. But that was a high school nickname. I'm not going to go into it now just because there's for time reasons. All right, as someone who hasn't invested in buckles yet, still using daisy chains, can confirm. Annoying. Yeah, man. Or Krista. Girl? Can't tell based on your avatar. But yeah, I can confirm as well. They're just bad idea. Get the buckles. Oh, see, I didn't know that. Interesting. I plan to do the same thing for the PCT. See, they didn't mention that at TravelX. So I would honestly, if you guys, for the AT class of 2022, and you're looking at health insurance, call them. Ask these questions. You're never going to know by visiting a web page. Yeah, Mischief's doing real good. I hope he hits that sign, man. I want nothing more, and I'm hoping I can do something for him when he gets to Pennsylvania. I'm really hoping. Janet hiking the planet. I love that name. Janet hiking the planet. Did you see many seniors on the AT, like 70-year-old ladies? I did. Granted, most of the ladies that I saw were either out on day hikes, the older ladies, and some were section hiking. Um, so I saw a couple. They were 73 years old, and they were section hiking when I was backpacking. It was a few years before I thru hiked. They were at the campsite with me at the Dragon's Tooth in Virginia, near the Triple Crown, and they said that they were going. It's called a long ass section hike, and they were going up to Pennsylvania and then stopping. And they kept adding a few states every year, and their goal was to do the whole AT. So I don't know if they ever did any more after that, but they were the nicest people ever. All right, love the hoodie. This hoodie, I actually got sent this. It was a dude by the name of Joe Reckless at the time. He has an Instagram channel called Out in the Wild. It's like out in the. Let me make sure I'm telling you guys right, because he's a good dude. He has some good merch on his site. Um, let's see. It's out in the wild life. You can just message him on Instagram and check him out. He has a store. He has hats. I have a hiker trash hat. He sent this to me just to try, and I absolutely love it. I wear it all the time around the house. So hopefully that helps, Rick. All right. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. So yeah, just the Red River Gorge area, the Sheltowee Trace. That's all I've done. It's not long. All right. Hillman is right next to Raccoon. Okay, that's where I've heard of it. I've seen that on Google Maps to like the bottom left corner of the map, and I never bothered going there for whatever reason. I would like to check that out as well as the Wildflower Reserve. Maybe I'll do that this year since there won't be a lot of hiking. And I apologize. I want to focus on my family. A new son's going to be, I don't know. I've never had a new son before, but I'm super excited about it. So we'll get back to hiking, though. Don't worry. All right. Another thing, I've always struggled with managing water weight. Never figured out the happy medium. What was the happy medium you found on the AT in terms of how much you carried? Okay, so Riley, I don't know if you're going to be using the gut hook app at all. But what I did was I started with what I used to do all the time for backpacking. I carried 2 full liters. Whenever I drank 1 liter, I would fill that liter up. So I would always maintain my 2 liters of water at any given time. Throughout the course of my hike, I actually downsized. I only carried a half a bottle in this bottle and a water in the other bottle, so a total of 1 liter, and that was adequate nearly the entire Appalachian Trail. Now, I would check throughout the day just to see, okay, when's my next water source? How can I make this water last until that source? But I never dehydrated myself. So you need to drink all the time. But there is plenty of water. I want to say, man, every 4 to 8 miles, you're gonna run into a stream. You know, some of the White Mountains areas, you got to plan like before you go up the mountain, you just go get the water. You know what I mean? When you get back down, you get more water. But I say 1 liter, maybe 1.5. If you're a little bit of a slower hiker, that's going to be ideal for you. But obviously, keep in close touch with the Gut Hooks app. It'll tell you all that stuff. All right. All right. So we're about halfway. Where the heck am I in my chat? All right. How do you stay positive through 3 to 4 days of rain? You just do. It's hard. It's really hard. It sucks. Um, There weren't, yeah, there was. There was a few days where it's 3 or 4 days of rain. The big thing with the rain is you have to find a way to constantly dry your feet, right? If you're not drying your feet, you're going to develop trench foot, and it's the most painful thing in the world. It starts with the cracking of your feet, and it's just absolutely terrible. I can recommend um, some kind of balm. If you have like a foot and hand balm, I use Rocket Pure. I'm not sure if they make it anymore. I've been seeing some stock issues on Amazon recently, but I would put that stuff on every night, every morning, every time I stop for a break, at lunch, and that really makes your feet a little bit water repellent so you can wear those wet socks. I swapped out my socks every other day. Um, unless unless we have like 2 days of rain followed by 2 days of sunshine, I would reserve that second pair of socks for those sunshine days just to let my feet dry out. It's all about feet. It's a little bit mental, but if your feet are happy, you're going to be happy. So find a way to keep your feet moisturized. As silly as that sounds, you want to moisturize your feet with some kind of balm so they don't crack. All right. What about micro spikes to the Smokies? So I told people this at the beginning of the chat. Maybe you missed it, but uh, I was on the verge, on the very very border, possibly needing micro spikes. I didn't need them because you just step around the big ice swatches, but it could have gone either way. I did slip on ice when I got near Charlie's Bunyan, and I wish I would have had them there. But it was only for like a short eighth of a mile, if that, that it was icy. So um, maybe for the older people that, if they fall, they wouldn't recover as quickly. But for me, I was 30. How old was I? 36, 37. I felt like, no, I wasn't. I was 35 probably. I feel like I didn't need micro spikes. So if you do get micro spikes, just get like Yak's tracks or something light, just enough to get the grip on the ice. Yeah, I agree, man. PA's got some crappy tools too, and they keep trying to put them up everywhere. At least we're fighting it though. Gary, Gary is at his house with his wife. He just got married a year ago. All right, let's see. Is a Dyneema hammock tarp worth it over a Sil Poly tarp? Considering an upgrade, but nervous about cost and bulk. So I'm going to tell you what I tell everybody that I meet on the trail. Dyneema tarps are 100% worth it if you go out camping enough. For the person that's going out once or twice a year, maybe 3 or 4 times a year, no, it's not worth it. Absolutely not. Stay with the Sil Poly. But, if you're like me, who at least try to go camping twice a month, whether it be behind the house or whatever, or people that actively like camping in the rain, like I love camping in the rain. Not necessarily hiking, but camping in the rain, then yeah, it's worth it because it's so light. I love the sound of it. It doesn't absorb water, and I don't know if Sil Poly absorbs as much water as Sil Nylon. That's what I'm used to. But whenever I had my Sil Nylon War Bonnet Edge tarp, it was worth the upgrade for me, and I got it for my birthday. Um, and it's not a game breaker if you can't get your hands on a Dyneema tarp. It's just material. You know what I mean? It's not going to do anything, and it does not pack down as well. Let me grab my tarp for you. I can show you right now. Hopefully I don't knock everything. Actually, I'll use this one right here. Here's another one. So here is my Dyneema tarp, and what I do with these is, let me get all this wire out here and I can show you. But I like to fold mine kind of like this. You know what I mean? Just keep folding it around like that. Now, this does not squish down like Sil Nylon or Sil Poly though, right? This is the way it's going to be. And then what I do, so you can see that, how big that is, I store that in my mesh pocket, and then I wrap the lines around it. And I got this from Spaguyver. He's in the chat right now. And I just wrap my lines around it like that, and I shove that in my backpack. So it does take up some real estate in your pack for sure, but I don't know. I love my Dyneema tarp. That's a light AF tarp. I love the coverage. I love the doors. I love every single thing about it. And it's one of them. It's one of those things like, man, if you take care of it, it's gonna last a long time. Don't set it up in direct sunlight forever, but yeah, it's gonna last a long time. So hopefully that helped you. All right. Okay. Huh. All right. Reading. And if I missed anybody, if I skipped over your question, just post it at the bottom. I'll try to get everybody tonight. It looks like we're about to wrap up anyway. I got a couple more here. So like I said, if I missed you, I apologize, but go ahead and just read it again, or type it again for me, please. Hey, it's your friendly neighborhood potter and mug maker. Oh man, I wish I had my mug down here. So Stormy Blue. Um, if you guys have ever seen some of my Instagram posts for when I'm drinking coffee, there's that mug that looks like it's like from a tree, like I dug it out from a tree, like a piece of wood, and it has the white blaze from the AT on it. She's the one that makes those mugs. She's amazing. I have 3 of them, just in case one breaks. I didn't want to like go without one. I use this mug every day. I'm ridiculous. You can ask my family. I take it on vacation with me. I absolutely love this mug. So check Stormy Blue out. I bought it with my own money. I'm not sponsored by her at all. She's just a great individual. Makes a great product. Highly recommend. And Stormy, I believe they can follow you on Instagram. For anybody, especially the AT class of 2022. Let's see, Stormy. Yeah, Stormy Blue Handmade. Follow her on Instagram. Get yourself a mug. Keep making them, Stormy. Appreciate it. That's awesome that she came in here. All right, let's wrap up these questions. I'm gonna wrap up my beer. If there's any last minute questions, let me know. Me too. That's a good life, man. All right, now. Okay, yeah, ticks. I figured ticks are bad. I'm thinking ticks are going to be really bad this year. They're bad every year. All right, Donut Hole Trail is an end-to-end, so that might not work for you if you're looking for a PA. Rock State Forest. Okay. Well, I'm not going to totally rule out Donut Hole Trail. Just probably not this year. If I get the chance, I'm just going to go. You know what I mean? I'm not going to invite many. You're not going to see me with too many people this year. Just being honest. Keep in mind, newborn. We'll get back to it. That actually helps a lot. Okay, good. Good. I feel like this whole chat was worth it because I was able to help one person. That's all I care about. How much did your walking pace change over the hike, starting miles per hour versus finishing? So Canadian Bacon. I love the name, first of all. I started at 12 to 14 miles at the start. Now, my comfortable mileage on backpacking trips was between 16 and 20. I started the AT injured. I had a little knee thing going on my left foot, or on my left foot, my left knee. I wore a brace coming out. And by mile 100, I started to kick up the pace to a more like 14 to 16 mile pace. By the time we got to the whites, I was blowing out 20-mile days in the whites, 20 to 25-mile days. I think I pulled out. We were doing 30-mile days in Pennsylvania. But that's just the way I hike. You know what I mean? I like hiking. I like seeing as much of an area as I can. Some people call me too fast. I call myself just right. If you want to hike at 1 mile per hour or 1 mile per day or 40 miles per day, that's however you want to hike. I'm not. No one should judge people based on their hiking speed or their distance that they want to cover a day. Some people just like to hike. I love hiking. I don't necessarily like camping as much as I like hiking. But for my advice on this, I would start 4 to 5 miles under what you're comfortable with. Let your body get used to hiking every single day. There's one thing, going out on a backpacking trip on a weekend, being a weekend warrior, that's one thing because you get the break at the 3rd day. You know what I mean? You get back to your car, you drive, you're normally sore in the morning. But through hiking is a little different. You really have to start slow and work your way up into the big mileages. Don't be a hero. Don't be a hero off the bat. make it last as long as you possibly can. Hopefully that helped, Bacon. We just got the one bottle hydration system. Do you find it hard to clean it? No. So put a couple drops of bleach in there. I think he has this recommendation on his website. In the valve or in the hose, and just kind of wring it back and forth here like this. Here's the Nalgene system I've yet to send out. So put some water, put some bleach in the hose, and just go like this. All right, you can let it sit for a little bit, not too long, or else you'll have the bleach smell. But that works. There's also cleaning tablets. I think REI. I'm out of focus. Hold on, guys. 1 second. REI makes little cleaning tablets that you can do. I don't know how I hit that. Does that work better? There you go. And you can just like leave it in a a gallon bucket of water or whatever, and clean it that way as well. All right, love your content. Your channel is the first place to go for information. Thanks, appreciate it. All right. I like the packability of a silk poly tarp, and it doesn't absorb water too badly, but always looking to save off some weight. Yeah, that tarp's 10 ounces with lines, so it works pretty well. I think it's 10 ounces. All right. Have gear will travel. Enjoy. I'm so excited for you. It's going to be such an amazing trip, dude. Oh my God. God, I wish I was out there again. All right. All right. Here's a good question. Really good question. Recently got into hiking. I want to get into backpacking. Shopping on a budget. What size pack? 2 to 3 days, but also go to 5 or 6 days. So what you want to do, get all your gear together. Get it all together. If you have a store that you can go up to, like a local REI, an outdoor store, take all that gear up to the store, pack 4 days of food, 5 days of food, whatever, put it all in the bag, and find the smallest bag possible that fits everything. Unless you're going to go winter camping, then go 10 liters more. Hopefully that helped. That's what I did. That's what one of the REI people told me to do. And I ended up with a 65-liter pack, which I used every single liter of that pack. It was an Osprey Atmos 65, and now I can take summer trips in a 20-liter. You'll get lower, but try to get your gear down so you're not buying things twice, and really research your gear. All right. How do you like the Ridge Runner so far? So the Ridge Runner is a hammock by War Bonnet that is a bridge hammock. A bridge hammock has a pole in the foot end and a pole in the head end, allowing you to really like stretch out like a bed. And I am enjoying the Ridge Runner so far, but I think I might be too narrow. I don't know. I'm gonna give it a couple more nights. I want to get some more better hangs. The trees I used that video up from last night, they were so far apart. I probably stretched that hammock as far as it possibly could, and maybe just a little bit tighter. I didn't know how to, it was the first time I've ever set that thing up. So we'll see how it is. I'm going to a couple more nights. I don't expect that I will carry the Ridge Runner on backpacking trips. It'll just be for like, comfortable lounges in the yard or, just behind the house kind of trips. Not sure I asked this, but did you feel colder in the War Bonnet Ridge Runner? All right, so I did. I did feel a little bit colder, and I was talking with some people over comments on the last video I released last night. If you haven't seen that video, check it out after this live stream. I feel like whenever I attach the underquilt, because the underquilt's on shock cord, right? Your suspension is on shock cord, and the idea behind an underquilt is to hang it underneath of your hammock without compressing the loft, without compressing the down. I feel like the hammock was too tight because I stretched it all the way up to the suspension, the cinch buckles, and the Ridge Runner suspension is a lot longer than a gathered end hammock, so it was pretty tight. I got some great comments in there saying, just attach it to the spreader bars, which I will look into because I think that's the way to go with that, and then just tighten it up real tight. But I did feel a little bit colder than I would have in a gathered end hammock at that same temperature, for sure. I did see Gut Hook's name change, and I actually had to contact customer service because I have the PCT uh, maps on my Far Out guide, it's called now, and they didn't transfer to the Far Out app. They were stuck in the Gut Hook app. So I had to, but they fixed it real quick. Was within a day, it was back. So I don't necessarily like the name. I love gut hooks. I'm always going to call it gut hooks. Every thru hiker before me is going to call it gut hooks. But if they want to change the name, I think it's bad marketing. But whatever. We'll see what comes out from them. Hey, Trey Mountain Shelter. I know where that is. Berrigan. All right. I hope you're having fun, man. Bob, I'm always down to talk, dude. I'm always down to BS about backpacking. All right, dealing with the mental aspect on a thru hike. So I had this. If you want to look up the Facing My Demons episode, there was a few days where for whatever reason, so I'm introverted, right? I'm an introverted person. I keep to myself a lot. Don't have many friends, and the friends I do have are really close with me. But there were days on the trail where I was really inside my head, right? Um, those days are very hard. It's like you're trying to resolve all these things that happened in the past, and these things will come up if you let them. I let them just because I wanted to fix them. I was out there to fix everything about me. I started off really on a low note with my life, and I just kept getting better and better and better as the thru hike progressed. Um, Not only that, there were days, where you can't put your gloves on because you need them at camp, and it's raining or it's hailing and it's freezing rain, and you want nothing more to put your gloves on, but you can't because you don't want to get them wet, or you don't want to get your other clothes wet, or you want to wear an extra layer but you want to save it for sleeping because it's lower, the temperature is lower than what you brought for a sleeping bag. Those are the days that will really test you on the AT, and those are the days you got to watch out for. There is a stupid saying that I'm going to tell you, and I'm sure you've heard of it: never quit on a bad day. It's absolutely true. Don't let yourself quit on a bad day, but also don't quit the next day either. Give it a few days. Say, I'm having a bad day, I'm thinking about quitting. In 3 days, I might quit. And that's fine, because more than likely, by that 3 days, you'll be in town, you'll be in a better frame of mind, you'll have food in your belly, you'll eat a big-ass freaking burger, you'll drink a beer, whatever, and you'll be right back to normal, you'll be ready to go. Just don't let yourself get to that position where you're starting to doubt yourself, because I was there in the Smokies, and it was really bad. And then I got the best view I've ever seen on Klingman's Dome with nobody else around, and we were above the clouds for a sunrise there. It was absolutely amazing. So hopefully that helped. All right. Is it possible to hike the trail in stints and still... I mean, so a thru hike is recognized by completing it in one calendar year. If you do section hikes that total the 2,200 miles, you section hike the entire trail. That's good. It's however you want to hike. My base weight in my 65-liter Osprey was 43 pounds. No food, no water. That's how I started. That was 6-7 years ago. So that was me. If you peruse my Instagram post, go back about a year, I posted the before and then the thru hike picture, and you can see the difference. It's pretty funny to look at. Or just go watch my Laurel Highlands video, the first one I ever did. 6 days on the Laurel Highlands Trail is what it's called. All right, just want to let you know your movie was the very first one I saw about the AT. Now I have plans for 2025, so just want to say thank you. Buy you a beer if I make it. Absolutely Canadian bacon. I'll take you up on that. I heard someone say far hooks. Far hooks. That's what they should have named it. I don't know. Whatever. All right. I've attached the underquilt for this is the War Bonnet Ridge Runner. Even when it's okay. I've attached the underquilt to the crossbars, even though it isn't so tight up to the Ridge Runner. I felt colder than in a gathered in hammock. I'm wondering if it's because the underquilt is more flat. Very possibly. You really got to loosen that underquilt, I think, based on the something going on with the chat. Huh. Let me know if something's going on with the chat, guys. It looks like we're nearing the end, though. But yeah, I think you got to really have that underquilt puffy whenever you lay in that War Bonnet Ridge Runner, and I'm definitely gonna mess around with that when I get a chance. All right, guys, we are at 9:10. I've been going for a while. Wow. I have not finished my beer. I'm slacking. So we're going to finish this. If there's any other questions, please do let me know. And if not, then we could probably end it here, I believe. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody, and hopefully there's not a problem with the chat. I'm not sure how you guys would let me know if there was, though. Beer is so good. All right, the last question. We'll just do this because obviously chat's still working. All right, your opinion on the best section of AT in North Carolina? Just viewing your channel for the first time. Thanks. Best section in North Carolina. Right at, I mean, the whole section of North Carolina is amazing. Probably if you're gonna focus on that, Smokies, obviously. All right, how do you find water stops on smaller hikes like Land Between the Lakes? Never hiked there. Never hiked there. Forgot to click some stuff. Yeah, that was a slam. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Class of 2022 AT hikers. I wish you all the luck in the world. I hope every single one of you has the opportunity and the honor to touch that sign at Katahdin and make your hike mean something. So go see every blaze, say yes to everything, and most of all, enjoy your time out there, because when you get back, the realization about how awesome it was is going to hit you like a ton of bricks. Thanks everybody for watching.